Welcome to Sweethearts or Rivals. I'm Charlotte.
I'm Justin.
Today we're going to be doing a list video.
Yep.
A list of, if we ever had to cull our game collection down to 50 games only, what 50 would they be?
Yep. Today we are doing number 20 to 16.
Right. And the criteria we used was how many tears we would shed if we never got to play this game again.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. And I believe it is your turn to go first.
It is.
Number 20.
So number 20. My number 20 is The Village.
Wow.
Why?
I don't know how I feel about that being so low on your list.
That's a sad story.
Yeah.
The Village.
But continue.
The Village is a game about the village.
Mm-hmm.
And you have your own player board, which is like your family member board. And you're managing your time. So in the game, the time will depend on your family member's life cycle.
Yeah.
So once you get all the way around to the time track, you have to pick one generation, one worker. And you have to put them in the Book of Chronicles if they were remembered for something spectacular.
Yeah.
If they were not remembered for something spectacular, they have to go into the unmarked grave.
Where they give you no points.
Right.
Yeah.
And the things that make your time track go around in a circle are like you're doing these actions. And it will say how much time you have to use to do each action. Like if you were to make a wagon or something.
Yep.
Or if you were going to go and start to be a brewmaster or something like that.
Yeah.
And I do prefer this game with the expansion of the inn.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have played it with the port.
But we've only played it once with the port.
I prefer the inn so far.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. Right. So that was your number 20.
Yes. And I'm sure we'll talk about it again when it's Justin's number 1.
We'll see. My number 20 is a new game on the list, and it's quite high up because I love this game a lot and cannot wait to play it some more, and it is Cthulhu Realms.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Cthulhu Realms.
The theme I like because it's Cthulhu, but it's not super dark, creepy Cthulhu.
No, it's the
kind of
funny,
tongue-in-cheek Cthulhu.
Like the funny if Cthulhu was a university Cthulhu.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it takes the deck building awesomeness of a game like Dominion, and it adds in the kind of dual awesomeness of Magic the Gathering.
Right, when you play with 2 players.
Right. So really, really enjoy it, and like as much as I enjoy playing a game like Magic the Gathering, the fact that I have to spend hundreds upon hundreds of dollars in order to make any kind of deck that's worthy of like going in a tournament, just I can't do that.
Not even tournament, just to like Friday Night Magic.
Yeah. Can't do that at all. And so
no, I would rather spend $300 on
more board games.
Yeah, like 6 more board games than a stack of Magic cards.
Yeah. So $20 and you've got everything you need to play what feels like Magic the Gathering with the awesome mechanics of Dominion. On top of that, it's incredibly satisfying, if somewhat complicated sometimes, to get a series of cards played in one round and have them interact in a way that lets you have like a really big round.
Mm-hmm. Well, that happens more often if you focus more on gathering the same kinds of cards. Because you're going to shuffle your deck each time and your hand is going to be random. Yeah.
Although even though it can be complicated when you're doing that big round, because you can play cards and then activate abilities on each card one at a time, so that can be complicated, and we recommend having some like cubes or counters to help you keep track of what you're activating.
Right, if you have like more than 3 or 4 cards activating at a time, it's a little helpful to have some.
Yeah. But when you're starting the game, you don't have to go through and be familiar with all the cards, because all you have to just keep in mind is if you collect all the yellow synergize together. All the purple synergize together, and all the green synergize together. So that makes it very, very easy to jump into and play, which is also very awesome.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm loving Cthulhu Realms right now.
Awesome.
Yeah. And that was our number 20, which means it's your number 19.
My number 19 is Dominion.
Dominion, nice.
Which is funny because it's kind of similar to Cthulhu Realms.
Yeah.
But I like the not fantasy. It kind of is. I don't know. Just the kind of theme.
Yeah.
And it's cool because you've got this huge box of cards and you're only going to play with so many this round.
Yeah.
And you kind of randomize which ones you pick.
Yeah.
It's interesting to see a group. Sometimes you get a group that doesn't work good together at all. But sometimes you get a group of cards that just, if you can focus on one or two, you're just going to sweep away with it.
Yeah.
And it's fun to be the player that kind of sees what matches up.
The combo that's going to win you the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just focus in on that if you can.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those games that I've talked about before where here's a system that is easy to grasp.
Yeah.
And then every game it's going to be a different scenario or a different end goal. And how well can you manipulate that system for that specific game.
Right.
And you can't play the same strategy in every game because it's going to be different.
Right.
And it works really well. And even with the just small Dominion collection that we have right now, like the replayability is
it's high.
Big.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's fast too.
Yeah, super fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. And that was your number
19.
My number 19, I'm a little surprised that it's higher on my list than yours because you're the one that wanted this game and I wanted nothing to do with it.
Oh.
Number 19 is Rococo.
Oh, Rococo. Yeah.
And the idea of having a medium to heavy Euro game that is about making fancy dresses is just like, what? But it can be a little cutthroat. It's area control. It has some amazing mechanisms that work so well together and work so well in making you feel like you're a fancy dressmaker.
Right.
In a cutthroat world, that I love it. It's an amazing game.
Yeah. And I think the reason it might be higher on your list is I think you like the mechanic of area control better than I do.
Yeah.
And then the deck building aspect of it, you
Yeah.
might like that a little bit more than I do.
Yeah.
That's probably why it's not as high for me.
Yeah. You really like the resource management aspect
I
of it.
love the resource management.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. It all works so well together. It's an amazing game. That was our number 19, which means we are on to number 18.
Yes.
It's you.
Mine 18 is Through the Ages.
Ooh, Through the Ages. This is something we
Yeah.
just got into.
Yes.
Yeah.
We played it a lot this summer.
Yep.
And I really well, it's got that mechanic about how the cards are going to move down.
Yeah.
And to purchase them, they're going to be cheaper each time. So we really like that mechanic.
Yeah.
And then the cards that you're purchasing are the ones that they're like you're buying wonders, or you're buying leaders, or you're buying buildings to build and upgrade your buildings and stuff, or add extra buildings.
Yeah.
And then you've also got like one-shot action cards that you're collecting into your hand. And then you've got all these little discs on your board, and you've got to manage them. So they're either resources or workers.
Yep.
And you've got to put them into your buildings to generate you your science or your culture.
Yeah.
And it's really, overall, it works really good together. And to like get your engine going smoothly is, if it's a good accomplishment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great sense of escalation, like for a Civ building game.
Yes, and you do feel like it's a Civ building game.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally.
And it's funny, ever since we started playing that this summer, I just started playing that Civ game on the computer again.
Yeah.
And yeah, there was a couple of days there I was just obsessed with that for a little while. And that's
just one more turn.
yeah. And that's probably because I was playing so much Through the Ages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Which brings us to my number 18. My number 18 is Terra Mystica.
Ooh.
And this was a little bit lower on your list already. Terra Mystica is this really heavy Euro game of putting your buildings out and taking over territory and managing all these resources. But what makes it awesome is the very thematic player boards and player races that play very different. So you can't be a master of Terra Mystica. You need to master the halflings in Terra Mystica. And then if somebody takes the halflings and you're stuck with something else, you've got to figure out how they are going to play well in this game. And that just makes it really replayable and awesome.
Yeah.
I also like, now that we have the expansion, the variable kind of end goals and scoring, which is awesome as well.
Cool.
Really, really good game.
Yeah.
Again, and I said this in the last video when it was Charlotte's that came up, but what would make this game amazing is if they published a 2-player specific board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be good.
That would be awesome.
Because we don't often get a chance to play this with more than 2 players because
Yeah.
it's such a heavy Euro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I almost want to sit down and just like scan the board and take the graphics and try to create a 2-player specific board. That would be awesome.
A lot of work.
A lot of work, yeah. And that's my number 18. So you're 17.
My number 17 is Maharani.
Maharani,
which is
nice.
a tile laying game.
Yep.
But it's got this way of how you choose your tiles is really, really unique.
Yeah.
Because in the middle of the board you've got this little rondel, and that's what you place the tiles on. Well, the tiles, when you're looking at them like this for you, when you turn it to your opponent, when you're playing 2 players, you have to sit across from each other. It's going to be the exact opposite.
Because it rotates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're not only trying to figure out which tiles work best for you on your turn, but you're also kind of having to look, like, switch the rondel in your mind and seeing what tiles are going to be available for them.
Yeah.
Because they're not really the same.
Yeah. There's a spatial orientation that you have to be aware of.
So there's like the puzzle of putting your tiles in the player board or the game board, but also the puzzle of trying to figure out what you think will work best on your opponent's section and what they might be trying to do, and like seeing if you can take that tile instead and work it into your section instead.
It's a cool little game.
Which is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome little game. Maharani. My number 17 is viticulture. And I have viticulture on here just because it is a very excellent worker placement resource management game with lots of different ways or paths to victory, which is awesome.
Right.
Yeah. That's really all that needs to be said about it.
Really? That's it?
Other than, I guess, another thing that kind of comes through really good with viticulture that I should mention is that the theme comes through really well.
Yes.
Yeah, and it does a really great job of that. So even if managing a vineyard isn't something that like is amazing to you, it is amazing to feel that theme come through so well.
Right.
Yeah, kind of like Rococo.
Produced so beautifully.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Awesome.
Cool. Your number 16?
16 is Tacky No Co.
Tacky No Co.
I love it. It's very cute. It's another kind of puzzly game because you're getting your tiles and you're trying to place them to get your goal cards.
Yep.
So you have to always be checking your goal cards because you're going to have different patterns on the board that you can get your goals accomplished with. You have to manipulate how high the bamboo grows for some of your goal cards.
Yep.
There's a panda eating card, so if you get certain colors that he's gobbled up, you can get points for that.
Yep.
And I'm looking forward to the Chibi's expansion.
So am I. And the reason is because the one thing I don't like about Tacky No Co is it's incredibly random.
And as we know from these lists, I'm okay with random.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily have to mitigate my randomness. I'm okay with, like, this is what I'm presented with and has the best way I can manage with what I have.
And my problem with it is that there's no way for you to get goal cards that work with any of the strategies you've used. So you can waste so much time going, I'm never going to get that. I'm never going to get that. And the person next to you is like, well, I've already done that. And I've already done that. And then they win. That bugs me. So
I can
I'm actually
see,
I'm actually looking forward to the Chibi's expansion because apparently there's a way in there to, when you get cards, to take a couple look at them and go, okay, this is the one I'm going to keep. That one thing right there, that's got my interest.
That's gonna fix it for you.
That's good, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it is an incredibly cute game and it's fun to play.
It is very cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I go into Tacky No Co like, I'm not going to try to win. I'm just going to try to have fun.
Right.
And that was your number 16?
I have fun if I'm not. Well, it depends.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say I have fun whether I'm winning or losing or not. But there's some games that you can see I've lost the game right here. And I still have 3 more rounds to go.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on. My number 16 is Through the Ages.
Very close to where mine is. Yeah.
And a lot of the reasons that Charlotte was saying, it simulates a very unique and awesome civ building game. And instead of having like, here's all your bits for iron, here's all your bits for war, here's all your bits for these people, here's all your bits for these people, it simulates all of this with very few bits.
Mm-hmm.
So you got these discs that represent the people that could be in any one of your buildings. It just depends on what card you put that person on, and that's
What
the
it
type
is.
of person
Yeah.
they become. Here's your bits that are going to represent your resources for building and your resources for food. And again, they could represent a lot of different things depending on what cards they own.
And it's really neat how they did it because
Yeah.
there's those 2 tracks they come from.
Yep.
And once you've uncovered certain sections on those tracks, then like you've had so many people, so you have to pay food each round now.
Yeah. Consumption.
To manage your population.
Yeah.
And then your resources. Well, if you're hoarding too many resources, you're going to have corruption.
Yeah.
So then you've got to manage the payment for that. It's really... find it really smart how they did that.
A lot of really intricate systems within a deck of cards and 2 tracks of bits, which it seems like it should be a much simpler game, and it's really not. It is really an in-depth, involved game where you have to manage a lot of intricate systems, and it's very fun and satisfying to do so.
Yeah.
I do like also how you can customize it. So if you don't want to play a lot of aggression warfare cards, you just don't have to play with those. You can take them out, and there's plenty of other stuff you can do with military, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
Yep. Fun stuff, and we still haven't even tried the complete game yet.
No, we're
Yeah.
still kind of in the midweight one.
Yeah, high on our list, and we still haven't even fully explored the entire game.
Right.
Which is kind of impressive. Yeah. Plus, it's on Board Game Arena, so I get to play it every day, all day. Like, I just get to go in there
All
and play.
day.
Well, I get to go and check. Okay, is it
Yeah.
my turn? All right, I can take a turn. I love that. So if you want to check it out, or you like the game and you're looking for an opponent, hit me up on Board Game Arena.
Right.
Yeah.
Peace, sweethearts, or rivals.
That's right.
Right.
So that was my 16, which means we are done this video.
Ooh,
Another
at the
5.
end again.
Yep. So we've got 3 more videos after this with our top 15.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're going to come back in another video to do the 15 to 11.
That's right. Well,
And thanks for watching this one.
thanks a lot.
We'll see you next time.
Laters. And it's very, very satisfying.
Telephone, telephone.
Now it's a different one.
What do they want?